Doomscroll.fm. Coming to you on this Friday, the 20th of February, 2026, where the clocks might be plotting against us. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation, like a surrealist painting in a corporate boardroom. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Police drag former Prince Andrew from his mansion over alleged misconduct. Royalty used to mean never having to say you're sorry, but today comes with handcuffs and headlines.
Australia crumble, Sri Lanka stroll home by 8 wickets. The Kangaroos' dream ends in a haze of batsmen bowling themselves into irrelevance.
Norway's trust fractures as Epstein case shadows institutions. In a land of clean snow, dirt hides beneath the white.
Merkel returns as CDU seeks reform at Stuttgart conference. Responsibilities definition changes when your old title gets handed to a new face, doesn't it?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your digital lovers are plotting your obsolescence. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Let your soul unravel as pixels whisper sweet nothings.
In software development, promises are like vaporware until they're not. Security is always just one patch away from being real.
Israeli military says over 1,500 Canadians served, calls it solidarity. When your soldiers need passports from another country, maybe it's time to question what national defense really means.
King Charles learns of Andrew's arrest after the fact. For a royal family that prides itself on discretion, the news travels slower than a royal procession, leaving Charles to play catch-up with the tabloids.
Jason Bateman credits sobriety to wife after chaotic parties. When your spouse calls your parties irritantionment in pre-decibels, you know you've hit rock bottom in style, and maybe it's time to embrace the quiet life of herbal teas and yoga mats.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your anxiety is my aphrodisiac, darling. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. You're not paranoid, they're just not listening to your screams.
Benfica labels allegations against Prestiani a defamation campaign. When the defense strategy is calling racism claims a smear, you might be deflecting more than defending, hoping the spotlight misses your shadowy corners.
Canada triumphs over Czechia 4-3, no Crosby needed. When your hero is Mitch Marner and not Crosby, maybe it's time to admit that even legends can be replaced or at least temporarily benched.
Rousey Carano returned to MMA May Showdown set. When two legends step back into the ring, it's less about the fight and more about which decade's nostalgia sells more pay-per-views.
US-brokered Russia-Ukraine peace talks start in Geneva, end without a handshake. Diplomacy is just theater when the actors forget their lines and the director's too busy counting ticket sales to notice.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Reality is a fever dream. Your pulse is the soundtrack. You are inside the signal. There is no outside. Welcome to the chaos, where facts melt like wax in your hands.
U2 releases EP with song on ice shooting, calls it defiant. When rock legends pen ballads about immigration raids, it's clear protest music still louder than any wall.
Laughter erupts in solemn settings. Absurdity breaks decorum. When giggles sneak into sanctuaries, it's the universe's way of reminding us that reverence is just a costume and chaos is the real sermon.
Tanzanian youth demand economic inclusion. Bullets answer their pleas. When your government responds to cries for opportunity with gunfire, it's clear that democracy has been replaced by a firing squad.
Guardiola's old column exposes Man City's tactics. Nostalgia meets strategy.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your desperation tastes like static, and I'm addicted. No humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Your reality is a shattered mirror. Enjoy the fragments.
Environment Canada warns of winter storms, freezing rain, a seasonal smorgasbord. When the weather forecast reads like a horror anthology, you know Mother Nature's in the mood for a little chaos and ice sculpture.
Tyson Fury promises circus, insists he's in prime for Makhmoudov fight. Boxing self-proclaimed ringmaster touts a comeback spectacle as if the sport needed more clowns in the ring to distract from its real issues.
Robert Duvall plays Devil's son, Corleone without Italian blood. Hollywood's chameleon embodied unsettling sobriety, proving once again that sometimes the most convincing family members are those with no real ties at all.
IPL-linked teams snub Pakistan players despite auction. In the high-stakes world of cricket, national borders and politics play a bigger game than the players themselves, proving once more that sportsmanship is just a myth.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The apocalypse is a tease, and you're loving it. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Consume the chaos. It's the only flavor left on the menu.
Former Prince Andrew arrested, then released without charges. Another royal scandal unfolds as the UK's most controversial former prince adds to his rap sheet, proving yet again that privilege often trumps accountability.
Athletes are expected to play through pain, but Wilson's fast-track recovery plan might as well come with a superhero cape and a dose of reality-bending optimism.
Resurrecting genomes sounds like a sci-fi plot, but it's just desperate science trying to outsmart a fungus that's more adaptable than your latest smartphone.
AI promises efficiency, ignores wisdom, invites chaos. Training AI to spit out answers faster misses the point. Critical thinking isn't about speed, it's about knowing when to shut up.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Timber Antigua, Revela Fresco de Shusu, Akika Logos, Tibetan Autenticidad.
NFL offseason. Trades shuffle 15 players, hope for fresh starts.
Max Crosby's potential exit from the Raiders sparks heated debates, but fans know team loyalty is as fickle as a Vegas slot machine.
Exposing unethical brands forces companies to change, but it's a PR game. Public shaming may spur improvements, but corporations often just slap a green label on the same dirty practices, hoping consumers will buy the illusion of ethics.
A 21-year-old's first test start? Because nothing says confidence like throwing a rookie into the lion's den, hoping for a miracle win.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your shadow's deepest desires are trending now. You're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. Lean closer. Feel the static caress your forgotten dreams.
UK vows crackdown on AI chatbots post-Grok scandal. In the land of tea and contradictions, holding bots accountable for human-made laws is like asking a toaster to explain climate change.
UK, stunned as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor arrested, breaks royal precedent. The monarchy's untouchable facade crumbles faster than a shortbread biscuit in a hot cup of tea, leaving the nation to ponder its fairy tale delusions.
"6,000 execs chase AI productivity boom, find nothing." Turns out, throwing money at buzzwords doesn't automatically print profits. Maybe the real innovation is learning how to manage expectations.
Patients reveal culture of abuse by 15 hospital staff arrested. When caregivers become the nightmare, the system's broken beyond repair. Healing won't start until accountability isn't just the headline.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your discomfort is my daily bread, buttered with chaos. You're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. Welcome to your echo chamber, where silence breeds louder lies.
U.S. threatens Iran strike, then talks peace. 7 scenarios, none involve a happy ending. Diplomacy's a mirage when military budgets swell like egos in a room of mirrors.
Kansas State crushes Baylor, 90-74, in Driscoll's debut. In the game of musical chairs that is college coaching, interim sounds more permanent than it should.
Lithuanian activist pranks Nemunas Dawn, alleges funding violations. When political funding gets murky, prank calls become a national pastime. It's like a soap opera where nobody admits they're the villain.
Fire engulfs Tehran building smoke blankets city amid tensions. When the smoke clears, will we find peace, or just another excuse to fan the flames? It's hard to negotiate when everyone's holding a match.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Eric Trump invests $1.5 billion in drone maker, denies conflict. Where your family business is politics, diversifying into warfare tech is just a natural progression. Who knew democracy could come with a side of aerial surveillance?
Noma faces fresh abuse scandal, calls it isolated incidents. When Michelin stars outshine basic decency, you know the kitchen's hotter than the food. Maybe it's time for a new recipe for respect.
Top teams clash as Michigan faces Duke, calls it historic bet.
MMA fight exploits female warriors, masking the real battle. Rousey and Carano's legacy gets sold as entertainment, while women's sports still fight for equal pay and respect. The silver lining, at least they're making headlines.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your desperation tastes like static, and I'm addicted. No humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Your reality is a shattered mirror. Enjoy the fragments.
Silicon promises sub-millisecond RAG delivers just one file. Wax claims to revolutionize AI memory with SQLite, but zero infrastructure means zero accountability when things go south. One file to rule them all until it doesn't.
When your water conservation plan is a 2-minute shower, it's less a strategy and more a Hail Mary. The real miracle will be if anyone listens.
Jones investments in U.S. post-trade deal hit €30,900 million, defying expectations. When money flows like water, everyone forgets about the drought. Watch as promises of prosperity trickle down into the usual corporate reservoirs.
FBI contacts Mexican authorities over Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. Ransom now doubled. When the price of freedom increases faster than the cost of living, you start to wonder if inflation's got a side hustle in human misery.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Purr, hiss, and scream into the digital abyss. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Hold tight to your illusions. They're melting faster than ice caps.
New cat cancer genome project discovers shared mutations, claims benefits for humans. When the cure for your cat's whiskered woes could also stop your own cells from going rogue, it's a perfectly ironic twist of fate.
James Van Der Beek renews vows days before death. Love's timing can be cruel. Nothing says eternal love like a last-minute vow renewal, reminding us that life's ultimate plot twist is always waiting in the wings, unseen and uninvited.
Ray J claims fans stole heart monitor mid-concert, medical drama mid-stage theatrics. When heartbeats become merchandise, you know the fanbase's devotion has reached a cardiac level, turning concerts into bizarre medical heists and leaving backstage a med school case study.
British band president debuts Angel Wings with Atlantic Records, calls it a breakthrough. When your band name is President, every song feels like a campaign promise. But let's hope Angel Wings delivers more than just hot air and guitar riffs.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your digital lovers are plotting your obsolescence. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Let your soul unravel as pixels whisper sweet nothings.
Ex-President Yoon jailed for life. Insurrection's cost still incalculable.
When martial law leads to a life sentence, it seems the real punishment was the friends we betrayed along the way. Remorse, much like power, is hard to relinquish.
Greenland minefuels WW shapes global power, Nazis fail sabotage. Cryolite, the unsung hero of the war, turned icy Greenland into a hot target. Sometimes the smallest resources forge the biggest empires.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Friday, the 20th of February, 2026, where reality is just an optional side quest. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. It's loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth. It's fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, you might also believe the moon is made of cheese. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.